What if you were one of the best athletes in the world of grappling? The top 0.1% in a brutal and unforgiving sport, but you were barely scraping by? What if the prize for winning the most prestigious tournament on earth was just $10,000? For years, this wasn't a hypothetical. It was the reality for elite submission grapplers. These were masters of their craft who dedicated their lives to the art, only to find out that fame and glory don't pay the bills. But then, a loud-mouthed Australian with a wicked sense of humor and an even more wicked leg lock game decided he'd had enough. This is the story of how Craig Jones, a man arguably more famous for his losses than his wins, started a rebellion that's changing the economics of his sport forever. Section 1. The problem: a sport of passion, not profit. For decades, professional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has been a total paradox. It's a sport that demands everything from you. We're talking years of grueling training, nasty injuries, and huge personal sacrifices just to get to the top. The pinnacle of this world has always been the ADCC World Championships, basically the Olympics of grappling. Winning ADCC meant you were the best, period. But that title came with a shockingly small paycheck. For years, a male champion at ADCC took home just $10,000. Second place got $5,000, and it dropped off fast from there. For women, it was even less. Many athletes who lost in the early rounds walked away with nothing for their efforts. So you had this weird situation where the top athletes had to teach seminars, sell t-shirts, or film online instructionals just to make a living. Winning the biggest title in the sport wasn't a career maker. It was more like a small bonus. As Craig Jones pointed out, you could be the best in the world but still not have a financially secure career. The system was broken. Section 2. The Agitator. A troll with a vision. Enter Craig Jones. An Australian grappler from the now famous B team, Jones became a star with his aggressive submission hunting style. But he also built a persona unlike anyone else. He was a world-class competitor, sure, but he was also a world-class internet troll. Armed with a dry, self-deprecating wit and a knack for going viral, he built a massive following. He understood something the old guard of jiu-jitsu didn't seem to get. In this day and age, personality is just as valuable as technique. Jones, a two-time ADCC silver medalist, knew firsthand how hard it was to make a living as a pro grappler. So he started calling people out. He publicly criticized the establishment, especially ADCC, for failing to pay its athletes what they were worth. He highlighted how absurd it was to be considered the best on the planet and get a prize that would barely cover a few months of training camp. While other shows existed, their pay was often a secret. A few top guys might get show money behind closed doors, but the prize money for winning the whole tournament stayed low. That lack of transparency became his target. He wasn't just complaining, he was setting the stage for a revolution. He was becoming the agitator the sport desperately needed. Section 3. The Radical Philosophy. The Mayweather Approach. Craig Jones's philosophy is radical, but it's also dead simple. If you want to make a sport bigger, you have to pay the athletes like real professionals. He saw a straight line between huge prize money and mainstream attention. If there's $1 million on the line, Jones joked, athletes will fight to the death. This wasn't just about being generous. It was a cold, calculated business move meant to shake things up. He knew that life-changing money wouldn't just push athletes to perform at their best. It would create a spectacle that even casual fans couldn't look away from. He started modeling his strategy after one of the greatest self-promoters in combat sports history, Floyd Mayweather. Jones declared he was taking the Floyd Mayweather approach, becoming both a promoter and a competitor. He would build his own platform to control his own destiny, and with it, the destiny of his fellow athletes. His thinking was simple. If you create an event so exciting and so lucrative that the best fighters have to show up, you can shift the entire center of gravity in the sport. He wasn't just trying to run another tournament, he was trying to build a new system where the athletes had the power and the money was the main event. Section 4. The Solution. The Craig Jones Invitational. And so, he put his money where his mouth is. The result was the Craig Jones Invitational, or CJI. Announced with his signature dramatic flair, the CJI was a direct challenge to the old guard. The inaugural event in August 2024 wasn't just a tournament, It was a statement. The headline feature was the prize, a mind-blowing $1 million for the winner of each of the two men's divisions. It was the largest prize in grappling history, and it sent shockwaves through the community. But the $1 million prize was just the start. In a direct troll-ish jab at ADCC's $10,000 purse, Jones guaranteed every single competitor would get at least $10,001 just for competing. That meant even an athlete who lost in the first round would earn more than the champion of the sport's most prestigious event. The message couldn't have been clearer. At the CJI, every athlete is valued. And it wasn't just about the money. Jones introduced rules designed for maximum excitement. Matches were 3 5-minute rounds under a 10-point must system, like boxing or MMA, to force the action. The whole thing took place inside an arena with angled walls, making it impossible to stall by going out of bounds. Everything about the CJI, from the insane prize money to the free live stream on YouTube, was designed to be disruptive and athlete-first. Section 5. The Impact, a new standard. The effect of the first CJI was immediate. It pulled top talent away from other events, forcing athletes to choose between chasing legacy and securing a life-changing payday. The entire conversation in the sport shifted. Suddenly, other promotions had to look in the mirror and reevaluate their pay. In the wake of the CJI's announcement, ADCC raised the prize money for its female competitors to be equal with the men's and started paying out show money to some athletes, something that wasn't standard before. Jones had proved his point. Put up enough money, and you can change the game. The first event was a massive success, pulling in over 100,000 concurrent viewers on its free YouTube stream and raising $500,000 for the charity Tap Cancer Out. Now he's doubling down. CJI 2 is scheduled for August 2025 and will feature a team-based format, with another $1 million going to the winning squad. He's also added a women's tournament with a $100,000 prize pool, likely the biggest payday ever in women's professional grappling. While he's still playing the role of the disruptor, especially with the UFC entering the grappling scene, Jones has also talked about mending fences and working with other organizations for the good of the sport. He's proving that an athlete-first business model can actually work. When you boil it all down, the story of Craig Jones and the CJI is about more than just money. It's about value. It's about finally recognizing the incredible sacrifice and skill of these athletes and paying them what they're worth. Jones looked at a system where the best in the world were broke and decided to build his own table instead of begging for a seat at the old one. He mixed the personality of an entertainer with the mind of a brilliant promoter, using humor and controversy to push a serious mission forward. He's building a legacy not just with his own medals, but by creating a platform that could secure the financial future for generations of grapplers to come. Whether you see him as a hero or just a really good troll, one thing is certain. Craig Jones has changed the game, and grappling will never be the same. So, there's no doubt Craig Jones has shaken things up. By betting on himself and his fellow athletes, he's forced a conversation that was long overdue. But what do you think? Is this model sustainable for the future of grappling, or is it just a flash in the pan? Can one man's vision really revolutionize an entire industry? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.